Okay, so we are fortunate enough to have a 50 and 110 in our stable. But one thing that became really apparent with the 50 that's not quite as big a deal with the 110 yet is here's the ground clearance on the 110. The ground clearance on the 50 is considerably less. And both of these have the horizontal engines, and there's really nothing protecting them. At this point, my biggest worry is a rock growing through the crankcase, maybe bottom it out. And recently we had the 50 get a flat tire, and when we had to put it up on something, you're just all worried about the motor. Where are we resting it on? So to solve that, I got a Ricochet skid plate. There were some on Amazon bad reviews about being too flexible, soft. Saw some good comments in a forum about this one, and it came with nice mounting hardware. So I went for it, and I'll put it in the video. When I ordered it, I found a coupon code that gave me 10% off. So I'll put a link in here and the coupon code so you guys can get that if you want. So subscribe to the channel, and let's take a look at how well this mounts up. I wanted to clean the motor before putting this on, but it's just pouring rain out, and I don't feel like going outside and getting soaked or dealing with the pressure washer. So we're just gonna put it on dirty. I think it floats with a little gap on the motor. Okay, it doesn't come with any instructions, but I'm just kind of using a simple concept that the drain plug is right there, and there's a big hole so that you can still use a socket to change the oil. So with that logic, there is a little hole opening right there in the case, and there are 2 holes down there. So in theory, I'm hoping to have 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Seems like we're making progress. Okay, so a little bit of roadblock. If you can look, I'm hitting the cylinder head, but it's not high enough to line up with the threaded hole. So I'm gonna have to, I think I'm just gonna grind the skid plate ever so slightly. Kind of interesting thing on here, I should have pointed out before, this skid plate fixed XR50s all the way back to 1989, and this is a 2019 CRF50. The sticker says 18, but there are no changes from the 18 to 15. Talk about a time portal. Honda has not been changing these engines for a very, very long time, and I don't know if they'll fuel inject the 50 soon. But hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Quick point out that on the right side, there's no clearance issues, so that's no problem. So it's just the left side that we gotta tinker with ever so slightly. Okay, took the trusty grinder, and if you look on there, just gave it a little bit, not a lot. It was more so right here on this edge. Aluminum's pretty soft, so I just hit it with 2 different passes. But now they're going together. So if anybody's put this skid plate on, or if the manufacturer's watching, tell me if I did something wrong. Because I would have assumed I wouldn't have to grind that. I mean, this motor's been made for so long, so maybe I did something wrong. But it's in, I'm not too worried. Okay, so quick comment. The box didn't come with any instructions. I have a feeling they've got them somewhere. Maybe I'm supposed to go online, but there's a bolt right there, so I gotta go take this off real quick and get that one off. But once I get those 2 bolts off, and there shouldn't be, that looks just to be a bracket brace. I'm not anticipating seeing any oil or anything come out of there. It shouldn't. I mean, it's only 4 bolts, so I'll get those out real quick, and that should finish up the install. And then just looking at how that's gonna go, I'm assuming that that's gonna go into the engine case, because if you look at that washer, it meets up nice. So that's how I'm guessing that works. Somewhere I've got those tools, hopefully, to install that, but they are not Allen's. I think that's called Torx, so hopefully I don't have to go buy any new tools to get those in. Okay, it's all done. I realized I had the locking washer backwards before, but that is it. I can tell I'll still be able to rinse the dirt off here. That's how I put that little spacer thing. If I flipped it the other way, it just didn't fit flush. So yeah, I don't know. You guys tell me. I didn't have instructions, and I had to grind it ever so slightly, but I think I paid 70 something for it delivered. I can tell this aluminum's really thick. It's not cheap. Feels very, very well built. And if you can't kind of deal with things a little bit on the fly, you're probably gonna have expensive bills paying everybody else to work on your stuff. Not that upset, I'd buy it again. Maybe next time I can get a little bit of a discount code for having to grind this one and not getting instructions. One thing I'll point out over here, so the other part of the garage real quick. Okay, so real quick over here on the 110, People make skid plates for the 110, but nobody makes one for the 19 yet, and I think this is why right here. So with the fuel injection on the 110, this is a new cable. From the pictures I've seen, the 2018 and older did not have that, and same with this little plastic protector here. So there's some type of sensor there, motor sensor, speed sensor. Oh, you know what that is? That's the O2 sensor. I see a little brass connection coming down there. Yeah, I think that's the O2 sensor on the exhaust way down there. Okay, that makes more sense. So yeah, so you got to do a skid plate with the O2 sensor in mind. So once that comes out though, we'll pick one up for this as well because I want both engines covered. So the point at hand, I'd buy it again. So thanks for checking this one out. Subscribe to the channel. You got to get these bikes out, get them dirty, keep getting them dirty, and keep riding. So hopefully you guys get to ride too.